Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from Group B, Subgroup 2 of SMQ 3043 Linear Programming. We would like to present our project titled A Linear Programming Model for a Diet Problem of KFC Meals Among overseas Students. Our group consists of 7 members, which are Lufil Hadi, Ainul Afif, Amiruddin Arif, Iqlil Atushri, Aina Watif, Firdaus and Kairani Yasmin.
Okay, first for our project background, the true definition of a balanced diet is food that provides your body with the nutrients it requires to function properly. Second, age, body size, gender, climate, health condition, and employment all influence the amount of nutrients required by the body. Third, our diet should contain the 5 primary nutritional categories of lipids, protein, vitamins, and carbohydrates. Finally, KFC has a lot of fat, which is unhealthy for humans.
Next is our problem statement for this diet problem. The food that are offered in KFC does not necessarily have a balanced diet as suggested by Ministry of Health of Malaysia. Overseas students would often need to pay more in order for them to get a sufficient nutrient for their body. So, we are conducting this study in order to minimize their cost for their KFC meal while having a sufficient nutrition requirement on their daily basis.
Okay, for our main objective, to minimize the cost of KFC meals for sufficient nutrition requirements among university pendidikan Sultan Idris students. Secondly, to explain the impact if not planning expenses on daily meals. For our significance of project, this project will assist students to make better decision without wasting money, effort and time. Secondly, this is to ensure students are able to manage their finance better so as not to waste money and still be able to choose their desired meals. Finally, we are also able to determine how much expense cost by each person.
Now let's move on to the literature review, shall we? In 1939, Leonid Kantorovich introduced a technique for optimization of a linear objective function to linear equality and linear inequality constraints, which is called as linear programming. Now, linear programming is useful for problems that requires an optimization of resources, and it can be applied in manufacturing to calculate how to assign labor as well as machinery in order to minimize cost of operation. In higher level business operation, however, linear programming can be used in order to decide which products to sell and in what quantity so that it maximizes the profit. This also can be applied in logistics as well, which is mainly to decide how to apply the resources to get the job done with a minimum amount of time. Now, Patel and Kasturi research in 2016 demonstrates that the use of linear integer programming for a human diet decision problem undertaken by a specific dietitian in healthcare. They specifically look into the difficulty of selecting a diet for humans between the age of 40 and 45, which is more complicated due to the budget constraints. It outlines the problem's constraints, the objective, the mathematical model, and the operation research tool integer programming to determine the patient's diet with the least amount of money spent. Now let's take a look at the methodology.
As for the methodology, first we discuss and design an LP model. Next, a survey was created and distributed among overseas students, which consists of 50 respondents. After that, 3 of the most peak, main and side dishes were selected from the survey. Then, construct the objective function, constraint and decision variable for both male and female. And lastly, we are going to find the KFC dishes with the minimum cost that can give recommended nutrient intake required.
Table 1 show nutrient for each KFC's menus, and table 2 show recommended daily nutrient intake. So KFC menu will be our variables, price will be our Z, and nutrient, which is carbohydrate, fats, protein and calories, will be our constraint. So to minimize the Z, we need to use this formula, and we insert the constraint of girl and constraint for boy, which is X1 is number of KFC meal in Malaysia, C1 is cost of KFC meal choice per serving, T1 is carbohydrate per serving for meal, T2 is fats per serving for meal, T3 protein per serving for meal, and T4 is calories per serving for meal. Okay, so this is our menu, which is our variable, and this is the price. This is carbohydrate, fats, protein, and calories for each menu. This table shows recommended daily nutrient for girls and boys. So our main objective is to minimize the cost, which is price, and maximize the nutrient. So this is constraint for girl. It is divided by nutrient. This is formula for carbohydrate, fats, protein, and calories. And this is our efficient. This is our constraint 1, and this is daily recommended. To get the solution Z and this left side, we need to use solver, Excel solver. So we click at the data tab, and then we go to solver, and by insert this formula, we get the solution Z and this left side. So to get the answer, we use the simplex LP, and then we click solve to get the sensitivity data analysis, and then we click OK. So this is analysis for girl, and then for boys, this is formula for carbo, fats, protein, and calories. Same as before. After we insert the amount of calories provided, then we compare with daily recommended nutrient. We use the same technique, which is we click at the data tab, and then we choose solver and insert the formula right here, and then choose the simplex LP, click solve, and choose sensitivity report, and then we click OK. So this is our sensitivity data analysis for boys. So this is the result for the sensitivity report for girl, and this is the report of sensitivity report for boys.
In conclusion, the costs are kept to a minimum and the nutrient demand is met by using the solver tool in Microsoft Excel. The cheapest meal found for both gender was snack plate and large cheesy wedges, and the other one is 2-piece rice plate with regular whipped potato at a cost of RM0 for both meal. Hence, the ideal solution has been obtained.
For acknowledgements, we'd like to give give our millions gratitude to Dr. Nurul binti Muhammad, which is our lecturer for SMQ 3043 in programming, in providing us a chance and also the information that we needed in order to carry out this project. Next, we also like to give our gratitude to the UPSI students, or as we like to call it, UPSIan, that are also involved in our survey in order for us to get the data that we needed to carry out this project. Last but not least, I would also like to give our many gratitude to our groupmates that make this project possible. There are a total of 3 references that we use throughout this project, which can be seen here. And that is all from us. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.